materials you're going to need to make this alcohol stove is 2 soda cans, something to score the can with, some scissors, needle nose pliers, a thumbtack, and a level surface to set your scoring device on, so that when you score your can, it's all the same all the way around, one level line. And the way we're going to do this, you're going to do like this, like I showed you. Put your scoring device on here. You can use a phone book if you want to. It's just between an inch and 2 inches, something in between there. It'll be fine. Take your can, set it up against your flat surface, and then up against the blade, and then spin the can against the blade. I'll try to show you how I do it. Just take your knife or whatever you're going to and pop a little hole right on the score line, like so. Then you can kind of take your knife and follow the line a little bit, like so. And then the part that you want to have a nice crisp line is the bottom piece of the can. So take and push your thumb down, put your thumbnail in the crease like so, right, and push down. And as you can see, well, it didn't work out so well on this one, but it'll push right in. Like I said, it wasn't scored right, so you can just put, when it's been scored enough, push down on the top piece and it'll pull away real easy. I've already do that twice to 2 cans. I've already got 2 here. For the bottom half, you're going to take your needle nose pliers, and I usually mark my pliers somehow, usually with a piece of tape, but I don't have any sitting here right next to me at the moment. But I'll just take this colored pencil and maybe it'll make a mark, and I'll mark my pliers so that I know I'm grabbing the can at the same depth every time. See there? So that when I grab the can with the pliers, I know every time it'll be in the same spot. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the can at that spot. We're going to give it a twist. I put my thumb along the back side of the, right here, along the back jaw when I twist. That way it stays nice and even and it doesn't split. Move over a little bit. Grab it at your mark. Give it a twist. Move over a little bit. Grab it at the mark. Give it a twist. And we're just going to do this all the way around the can until we reach the other side. Have something that looks kind of like a saw blade. And the bottom half is pretty much done. And what that allowed us to do was to take this other half of this can and put that right over the top like that, so that when we go to put our can together at the end, it'll fit nice and easy. Just set the bottom side aside, and we'll move on to this, to the top half. Now what I've done, you can see some markings, and these are the markings for the jet, for all the jets. These markings are 1.3 centimeters apart. If you just start anywhere, like I started there, and go 1.3, approximately 1.3 centimeters all the way around. You should end up with 15 evenly spaced holes. Most people, they like 16, but 15 seems to work just fine for me. So we're going to take our thumbtack, and I like to hold it with my pliers. And we're just gonna poke the 15 holes around here. We're gonna poke 5 holes right in the center of this. There's gonna be a penny that sits on here. I'm just gonna use this ring from some chainmail I was working on to make an area for y'all to see. As long as the 5 holes you make in the top can fit inside of a penny, the size of a penny, then you'll be just fine. I'm just going to pop one right in the top. And then I'm going to just make an X, kind of like you see on a die, the five side of a die. Now we've got our 5 holes in the top. We're just going to pop our 15 holes around the outside. Now we've got our holes in the top. These will be our jet ports. Now just take a half of the can that you have left, that you cut the bottom out of, and you can take your device here that you use, your platform that you use, to put your knife back on it like so. And take this can, this half, and just, you don't have to score this one as well as you did the other one. You just need a reference line, because we're going to be cutting this with some scissors. That's good enough. Just take your scissors and just cut right up the side and past your score line. And you can turn it to the side and cut right, I would say cut a millimeter above your score line. That's going to make this a little bit taller than your bottom piece, so that this is going to be your center wall. That'll make this a double walled stove. And what that does is that it allows the alcohol that you put in the stove, when it heats up, it turns into the vapor, turns into gas, and then it ignites. Having this double wall in the stove allows it to pressurize. You don't need it, but it does help it work better. So what you do is you just roll it around itself, because you see it's open, and you can take it and put it in there and it'll naturally expand out. What I do usually is I'll take a piece of string something that won't melt, like this cotton string, and I'll just get this to the size. You can see down in there that dome. I make this fit directly in the indentation where this is, the rim that's on the bottom here. I put that in there so that it fits, and so that it fits nice around the dome. That way when you close it up, you have the wall in there. But I put it in there and get it to the right size, and then I'll take a piece of string and I'll just tie this in position, just so it'll stay where we need it until we get the top on. And if it burns off after your stove is put together, that's perfectly fine. That's not going to matter. I doubt it actually will, because there's no real fire in this stove. But even if it does get hot enough inside the stove to burn this off, your stove is already enclosed, so it doesn't really matter. Just tie a little knot there. If you want to, you can use a long piece of string and go over and over. Just going to cut these tag ends off here. And as you can see, that fits just right in there. And we have our space around it for our double wall. We're just going to take our top piece, fit it over the bottom piece, and we're just going to slowly and evenly press them together. You want to do this as slowly, as evenly as you can. Don't get in a big rush. If you get in a rush, one of these spots up here where we twisted the can to shrink it, it could catch this outside here, and one of two things is going to happen, and possibly both, is where we twisted the can, it'll crinkle all the way down and you won't be able to get a good seal, or it's going to crinkle halfway down and create a rigid point that's going to catch this edge, and when you push it down over it and you're in a hurry, it's going to split the outside of your can. So you just want to, as gently as you can here. Mine went a little haywire on me just then, but just push it in good and tight, and it might not go all the way in, because remember, we cut our center wall a little bit bigger, a little bit taller than the rest. And then what I like to do is I'll just take something like my Leatherman, and I'll just crimp this bottom edge around. And your stove is done.